Rob, Bath here in the Premiership tomorrow. It's a side we haven't beaten in the Premiership yet, but your thoughts ahead of it all? You must be quite excited by the challenge.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, it is a challenge that we haven't beaten them before, but I think, as we said to the players today, that isn't the biggest challenge. That's not the biggest reason to win. The biggest reason to win is, we're currently fifth in the Premiership. We're a point behind the team in fourth place. We've got a good run of wins going. Let's talk about what a good performance and a potential win could mean for us. It's not necessarily about beating a team we haven't beaten before. It's about collecting points and being ambitious for what this season may bring, and I think that's the best way for us to look at things. I think it just kind of gives you a clearer picture that you've got to make it about yourself and what you want to bring to the game, and so that's what we've talked about. Not that it's Bath, but about it's another tough Premiership game and what we might be able to get out of it.
You talk about the confidence you've gained from recent wins, and that Leicester and London Wasps, two former Premiership champions, two former European champions. You must gain a lot. It shows the club's moving in the right direction. I just think it means we're in a good place at the minute. We're comfortable with our form. We have picked up the odd injury here and odd injury there, but we've managed to bounce through. Guys have taken their opportunities to come into the squad very well. And as I say, we're enjoying doing what we're doing. It's nice to be able to talk to the boys about being ambitious and pushing on and not so much worrying about what's behind us, but thinking about what's potentially in front of us. That's what we're going to do now to the end of the year. As I've said before, next season starts afresh in a few months' time. I'm going to worry about that, a little way down the road. For now, I'm looking forward to tomorrow because of what it might bring, not of what it might take away from us. Lots of positives in the last few weeks. Another one this week with Tom Hayes and Simon Alcott signing new deals. Two key men, and you've talked about retention is sometimes better than recruitment in that respect.
Oh, in many ways, we for a number of years now have kept a very settled squad. We've had a policy of, when we were in the Championship, re-signing players despite not knowing whether we'd be promoted or not, and backing those guys to come through for us, and that's something we'll continue with very much hopefully for a long time. Personally, I feel very comfortable working with the group of players I know. And I think that is almost the biggest strength of a club. If you're comfortable, right across the board with the players you've got and working with them, and they'll work hard with you and they work well together and they're good people, that gives you a very, very solid foundation to work from. It kind of also controls the culture of the side very much. We don't have to try and re-educate people or try and change people. They are what they are, and if only 3 or 4 come in at a time, then there's a strong ethic within the side to kind of bring them on board and make them part of it. And that's very much how I'd like to see us progress as a side. We bring in quality as we need to, in the right areas when we need to, but we're also developing from within with our academy and developing the players we have within the squad for a long time and on a daily and weekly basis. And we're still doing that. We're still a squad that's improving. We're still a relatively young squad. I know we've got some older guys in there, but we're still a relatively young squad, and we're still relatively inexperienced in Premiership terms. And you do become better with exposure to good rugby. And I still think we're improving with that exposure, and I think in some ways the recent run of games we've been on has shown that.
Tom's a real leader there, and he's spoken this week to me about the fact that here, especially in the last few weeks, we've seen a real buzz around the place before kick-offs, during the game, and tomorrow night it's probably going to be the same as again.
Yeah, well, I think the crowd are feeling probably the same way as the players, that they're looking at the season. Probably, quite a few of the crowd are probably pinching themselves every now and again, which is fantastic. We're doing well. We're doing well, and we're playing good rugby. We're being ambitious. We're trying to get things out of games. We're not just kicking the ball in the air and hoping something happens. Last week wasn't the best of games, but that was because of the conditions. Looking at the pitch today, it's very firm. If the rain holds off, which it looks like it could well do, the track's going to be exceptionally fast tomorrow. It doesn't look like there's a lot of wind around, so I think there's going to be a lot of rugby played tomorrow, and we think that suits us, and we're looking forward to it.
You've made a couple of changes to the side. Chris Whitehead coming in for Neil Clark and Peter Short up against his former club. Nice to see Shorty back. It's one of those games he probably been relishing to play in, isn't it? Yeah,
it feels like a long time since Shorty's been around. You look at the calendar, and I think it was the fourth or fifth game of the season he got injured, so it's been a long time to see him back up and running. He's trained exceptionally hard. He's got himself back in very good nick. He's had a couple of good performances in the LV. I don't make any secret of the fact that I do like to try and help players have that opportunity to play in big games for them. Personally for Shorty, this is obviously a very big game with him joining us from Bath last season. That's part of the reasoning. Other than that, he has had some good LV performances. I'm kind of determined to make sure that we don't look to only make changes when we lose, that we look to keep things fresh and keep things moving forward, you know, when we're winning. I think Ali's done very exceptionally well in his run of games, and it's not really a negative on any of his performances. It's more that, you know, I'm wanting to look at something slightly different, keep things fresh. I'm sure Ali will still have a big impact off the bench. You know, he's a key ball carrier for us, and it's a little bit the same with Chris Whitehead. You know, Chris, if you think back, started I think the first 6 Premiership games for us, did very, very well. Got an injury and has had to really work hard to fight his way back into contention. He's done that over a period of time, but then, you know, Clarkie's been in and he's kept his place on merit from performing very well. And kind of in my words to him, he's one of the guys who's really got on with things, just got on with his job, almost whatever the circumstances, and has had a very good run of games. But again, you know, we have had a little bit of a history of playing our hookers until they break, and then we change them, and I'm wanting to try and change that a little bit. You know, Clarkie's played a lot of minutes in some tough games. He's still raring to go and desperate to start the game and wants to start. But I think it's just the right time to give Chris a start. You know, as again, he's trained very well. He's done well when he's come off the bench, and he is an energetic performer. And I think, you know, having those 2 guys back just adds a little bit of freshness and energy in a game that's going to be tough.
Brilliant. Thanks, Rob.